Hello everyone, welcome back to our opening series, that is Understanding Chess Openings. Yes, we are not just going to see what should be played and what not should be played, we are going to understand why it is played. Okay, so our today's topic of discussion is going to be fried liver attack. You must have heard about this thing somewhere, but today I'm going to show you what is the logic behind playing like this. Means whatever we are going to say, I'm not going to reveal, you need to see the video. Okay, and in the end I'm going to show you one small trap also in this line. So let's begin. This starts with e4. Well, before we go further, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you are new here. Black plays e5, white plays knight f3, knight c6 and bishop c4. Whenever you place your bishop on c4 square, it is quite obvious that you are going to attack on this f7 square, correct? So black player has 2-3 options. In our previous videos we looked at bishop c5 variation. If you have not seen those videos, I would request you to do watch it. I have given the links in the description plus in the I section above. Okay, today we will see what happens if knight f6 is played, because this is also a very like possible option, right? So here if you want to play normal chess, then d3 is one of the option, but if you want to play something aggressive, then I will recommend knight to g5 square. What is this knight doing? Well, this knight is attacking the pawn on f7 square clearly, and this bishop is also putting some pressure here, so black needs to do something. Playing his queen here is not a good option because two minor pieces against a queen, not a good match, right? If you capture here, queen will not be sacrificed for sure, black will be lost completely. So black has this move d5, which is the best move in the position, and now white goes for e captures d5. Now here knight a5 is actually the best move. Okay, another option in this position is b5 also. The point of b5 is like, if you capture bishop into b5, then queen into d5 will be played, and this queen will be attacking this pawn as well as the bishop on b5. And usually players go for bishop into c6, or they go for knight c3 attacking the queen over here. Queen goes on to capture here, and then queen f3 comes, and then he captures here, knight captures f3, and then he saves the knight on c6 square with bishop d7. Okay, this is what usually happens if b5 is played. This is okay, another branch I will say. Most frequent option from black side is knight a5. Okay, bishop d5 check is almost forced. Then here you have two moves. One is bishop d7. In that case you can play queen e2, then if you capture here, capture c6, b6, c6, capture here, and queen into e5 check, and white stands a little bit better in this position. That's what I will say, because this knight is in the corner of the board, it is not coming in the game very soon, and if the queens are exchanged, means if he offers to exchange, then you don't need to exchange immediately, you can play d4, because if black captures, then you get a lot of tempos ahead in this position. Castling can be done, knight will come to c3 square, bishop will come to e3 square, and then well you are more developed in the position. That's what you need in the opening phase, right? So that is one thing. Like, are you understanding why you should be playing like this? Means bishop d7 is not that cool. Okay, that's why black players play c6 move. Okay, after c6, main move is to capture here. Okay, you might be asking this thing to yourself, like, why this all these things, right? Why black is playing like this? Well, the thing is that when you play like this, you get some counter play, because white was the one who was attacking in the position. So to get something from your side, black players go for this thing. Black has sacrificed one pawn, but he has got so many things. I'll show you what. Bishop d3, and then black can go for knight d5. Look at his position in the center of the board. Black is quite solid. Then bishop will also come in the game, followed by he might go for castling, and it should be okay. Another option from black side is to play g6 to neutralize this bishop, and then you can play your bishop to g7 square, and then you can castle. This is also a very good option from black side. So black is having quite open position. Okay, so coming back to the position which was here, and this is what I want to show you, that why not knight into d5. Well, when you play knight into d5 from black side, you should be careful, because white has a very brilliant attacking move, a sacrifice by the knight, that is knight captures f7, and after king captures f7, queen f3 check comes, and this is the fried liver attack. Okay, now of course you can go back, or if you go back, then bishop into d5 will be played, then queen f6. But anybody, okay, anybody from black side would love to retain the piece because white has sacrificed the piece on f7 square. So after queen to f3 check, king e6 is a very natural move. And now here white goes for knight c3. See, he has sacrificed a piece in order to attack this knight on d5 square. Now three pieces are attacking over here, okay. So black needs to save the knight on d5. There are two options. One option is to play knight b4. Another option is to play knight to e7 square. More common is knight e7. And after knight e7, you can say like white is having lot of activity for the sacrificed piece. But you should also understand this thing, that you need to get your pieces quickly in the game. If you delay the procedure, then black is already ready to support the knight on d5 with c6 move. Let's suppose you play some random move, okay. For example, you play a3 move, then black will play c6 move, and then slowly and gradually the king will run to c7 square, and black should be fine in that case. No worries for black. So you have to act fast. There are two things which you can do. One is like you can play d4 immediately, or as you can see that the rook on h1 can come in the game very quickly by castling. So the game which I am going to show you here is this only, means castling is a good option. Black will obviously play c6. And now what to do? Well, here again you have two options. One is d4, by which black cannot really capture here. Black needs to play king d7. He needs to run away, okay. That is the best way you can play. And here you don't need to capture on e5. You can play other moves like bishop g5 pinning this knight, or you can play rook d1 also, just bringing the pieces in the game. That's what you should do, okay. The last segment of this video, I want to just show you like what happens like if your all pieces are in the game, okay. I hope that you have understood till now, and if you have any doubts, do ask me in the comment section. I will definitely reply to them, okay. White plays rook e1, attacking the pawn on e5 square. Black plays bishop d7, okay, no problem. And then d4 comes. He thinks like, okay, I need to run away in this position. So king d6 is played here. Rook into e5. Now everything is being attacked on d5 square. One thing is there, knight c3 can be played, but if you play knight into c3, there is a huge mistake. Means there is a huge thing is there, that is rook into e7. The point is, if you capture bishop into e7, then bishop f4 will lead to check and mate. Yes, means all these squares are actually covered here, and black's king will be checkmated in the center of the board. So you cannot really do that thing. If you capture king into e7, obviously bishop g5 check, and okay, this queen is also hanging, but we don't need to capture that. We know this thing that queen f4 will lead to check and mate. So that is like the threat on the board. Knight c3 is not a possibility, okay. So here he plays knight g6, but this did not stop white from sacrificing yet another time. He plays knight captures d5, and now knight into e5, d captures e5, check. Two options are there, of course, three options mainly: king c5, king captures e5, and king e6. We'll see what happens if he captures the pawn over here. If he capture, then bishop f4 check will come, and the king is not having any good squares, okay. Another check is also there, queen f4, this which is more forced, I will say. Then he has this square, and now you can see there is some discovered attack is there. So wherever you move the knight, it is going to be a checkmate. Knight e3 check, king will go back, then queen e5 check, bishop e6, and then queen into e6 will lead to check and mate, because king is not having any squares, okay, because bishop is there. So he might play king c5 in this position, but king c5 also will not help him. He will play queen to a3 check, king c4, and now what to do? Queen d3 check, king will come to c5 square, and can you spot the check and mate? That is b4 check and mate. So in all, I'll just say this thing, that by giving up a piece on f7 square, you get a lot of activity with your pieces, but make sure that you bring your pieces as quickly as possible and open up the center with the moves which I showed you, that is castling, rook on e1, and then d4. You will definitely get some checkmating ideas or some attacking possibilities, and most of the time black players are not ready to defend in the position, so you will definitely score a point. I hope that you will implement these ideas in your game and you will win some games. If you win some games, don't forget to comment on the video that you have won the game, and we'll be meeting very soon with some interesting video. Till that moment, take care, goodbye, and love you all.